Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Ole Miss was coming into this game favored 3:30 Eastern. They were able to win this game against South Carolina in Columbia. And we saw a very impressive performance on both sides of the ball. The offense was able to put up 27. Defense only gave up 3 points, forced a couple turnovers. Rebel Nation, are we back? Are we back in the mix? What are we thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you come off of a loss. You play well here. Both sides of the ball, like you mentioned, played awesome. I mean, defense, I think, is the key for this game. You wanted to see them win in style points now in this week.
I did.
You said that. We need to see some style points. I think this is some style points. Defense got 16 hurries on the day. DBs did a great job keeping the play in front of them against a quarterback who can run. 2 quarterbacks played in the game. Both can run. Kept everything in front of them. Chris Paul Jr., 3 quarterback hits on the day. Walter Noel, 2 sacks. Like the defense was firing, and that's what you want to see coming off of a loss. A good coach team. Kirby Smart did it this week against Auburn. Lane Kiffin did it this week here against South Carolina. You get your team right. They go in and they show that what happened the week before was not them. And this defense here is going to be fine. And honestly, looking forward is probably going to be the way that this team wins football games.
Yeah, I think this defense is definitely going to pave the way. And you talked about Paul, that man who wears number 11 is an absolute dog. And getting into the backfield, the defense was able to get Lenore Sellers on the ground 6 times. This is his 3rd straight game with an interception for Lenore Sellers. One of course forced by Ole Miss, and so this defense is super impressive. They paved the way for where this game was going, but offensively starting off, they got off to a really quick 13-0 lead. Super explosive plays. You got guys like Trey Harris, Juice Wells. I think he was coming back from an injury, if I'm not mistaken. He looked pretty impressive, and probably could have made this game like a 30-plus point game if he didn't fumble there on that massive pass going into the end zone.
Playing against his old team, he's trying to show out.
He's trying to show out a little something. So
yeah, I mean the offense is firing, the defense is firing. I think in this game, it's now like you had some fallout from this game. Trey Harris could be out for who knows how long. At the time of recording this, it's Tuesday. As of right now, there's no real word. Lane Kiffin said if the game's played today, he's not playing. So he is your best offensive player right now. And, he's outsnapped or double the next highest targets on the team. He's doubled Juice Wells' targets, 53 receptions for him, 86 for the rest of the team combined. So he is like the go-to guy. He's established the identity of the way this offense fires, that play action first, throw it across the middle of the field to a guy like him. If you don't have him and you're going into LSU next, the game plan shifts a little bit.
It shifts a lot, especially when this LSU defense has looked pretty suspect throughout this season and some of these games we've played outside of South Alabama, of course. It changes. You're going to need to see more from Henry Parrish on the ground to kind of make up for it. You have to see more from Juice Wells, obviously. And they got a couple other guys involved in this game. Jackson Dart was averaging like 10.6 yards a pass from the last game. I would expect to see more of that against LSU, just given what we've seen from the past defense. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of what they craft up game plan wise without Trey Harris, who's a dynamic playmaker and right now top 3. I think each week it shuffles on who's the best receiver in the SEC, but he's had weeks where he's been the best guy. By no means is it owned by someone thus far this season.
Yeah, I mean, you have a tough road now for Ole Miss. Like, this is kind of entering their stretch. LSU, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Georgia. You realistically only want to drop one of those. Ole Miss could beat any of these teams with the way that they played this week and with the way that they played against Kentucky. Like, who knows? Like, I think the identity of this team defensively is looking strong. Offensively, I'm very curious to see how it looks next week. But the future's bright for Ole Miss. You came back and you showed that Kentucky wasn't normal. That was the outlier.
Yeah, they did a really good job showing that was an outlier. I mean, all around great performances. Like I said, from the guys we know, Dart. We saw Puegs, their big converted tight end. He's a little TD merchant. He got him 2 tutties this game. Big dog, let the big dog eat. Some big big stops here. They had a couple fourth down stops on South Carolina. So just a lot to say positively about this defense led by Paul Jr. And then, on the offensive side, just back to what we've come to see and know. That's what earned Ole Miss this top 5, top 10 rating in the past. And so they keep showing games like this, playoff lock to me. No doubt. And then when I look at these next couple games, I know you talked about it. So you got LSU, by Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then UGA. By no means are any of those cupcakes, but they'll probably be favored, I'm assuming, in at least 2 of the 4.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see for sure.